Hello, I am Overlord MMM, and I am your flying instructor today. Before we do anything else, in order to fly, you must be Reinhardt on a map which has available surfaces to fly, in this case Nepal, and have 300% speed. Now I find Nepal to be the best map because it has so many surfaces, but feel free to experiment. There are some other maps which have surfaces to fly on. Anyway, now on to the lesson. For this part, we're focusing on the very basics of flying. In the case of Nepal, you would want to stand here and charge here. Now, the idea with this is you are charging on a ramp. However, because of the fact you're leaving the ramp early, it gives you a little boost of speed. And if you hit certain surfaces while with that boost of speed, you'll pop into the air. Now, as demonstration, I'll do it right now. Now, as you see, I got a lot of distance and a lot of air. And I was even able to clear spawn. Now, if you do it wrong, it'll look a little bit different. So, I'm going to do an example of one that's wrong, because it's simply not aiming enough outward. So I'm going to aim right around here. I should just go over it like normal. Now, I did fly, but I didn't get enough air time, because you need to aim a little bit further away from the ramp. Now, aiming at this column does not guarantee that you will fly that distance. If you aim just a little bit more towards this part, you will actually pop into the air instead of outright flying. This is useful if you want to try surfing along the buildings. That's the end of part 1. We are now on part 2 of the Reinhardt flying instructions. This is more of an advanced move, and it's actually 2-part. See this building right here by the ship? We are going to use that as a ramp. We do need to be careful not to be too much to the right or left in our charge, however, because we can land on this, we can hit that satellite, or we can hit that rooftop, derailing us from where we want to go, the ship. Now, when on this ship, you'll notice that you slide around a lot. Mainly because of the fact that the ship is kind of counted as a rooftop. So my advice is when you do come onto the ship, to go by the tail end, because the fins actually kind of cradle you, giving you a little bit of a rest. So now the second part of this, for the advanced tutorial, is that building we used to get on the ship. We can use both of those rooftops down there, that one and that one, as ramps. But we need to charge our falling and our charge just right. If we don't, then we just smack into a building or miss it completely. If we do hit the ramp right, we get to fly and possibly even surf. Demonstration. As you see, I just launched myself from one ship to the other spawn, and I potentially could have even gone further. Now, this is part 3. This is still intermediate. Now, for this, we are still going to use that ramp that we used to go back onto the ship. However, we're not aiming to go onto the ship at all. Instead, what we're going to do is run over the ramp, turn around, and charge. Basically, doing a launch off of the same rooftop without needing to go onto the ship. This takes a little bit more practice and skill because of the timing of both turning around and the charge. Now to the demonstration. Doing these 3 techniques at different areas, you're able to actually surf along buildings and rooftops. Basically, you're a big giant Lucio. Now, onto the last part of the instructions. Hello there. This is the difficult part of the session. This, only a few people have actually done it, and I've only done it probably 1.5 times. Now to do this, you need to be on these rocks, and the goal of this is to use a single charge to cross the map uh, to go all the way to the other spawn. It's very difficult, but very worthwhile once you actually do achieve it, as it's the hardest jump to do. Now, you have to be on these piles of rocks, and you have to position yourself basically on the center, but you also have to move a little toward the ship. So if you're on that side of the map, you have to do the same, move towards the ship a little. So I'm going to move just a tiny bit left. Next, you have to aim kind of between the corners of this rooftop, and that rooftop. It's very difficult to align yourself. And oftentimes, you'll mischarge, lots of things can go wrong. But with any luck, I will be set up, and this will be a proper demonstration. As you see, I missed, and instead, I hit that building right there. Positioning is everything. And this will take a couple tries, so I'll come back when I actually do make it. As you've seen from that, I was able to go directly to the other side of the map and actually landed on the ship. Most times when this is successful, you'll actually land just shy of spawn. Now, that ends the most difficult part of this jumping series. However, some things to note. Everything that I've shown you for that side of the map also works for this side of the map, because the map is pretty much symmetrical. By combining things, you can actually do some advanced moves in jumping and surfing. I'll be back with an example of an advanced version of flying and surfing.
I'm not as young as I used to be. Greetings.
Alright, and then finally, just a few tips. One, not every map actually has jumping points, and the maps that do, usually there's only 2 or 3. Nepal seems to be the best because of how many jumping spots there are, and the amount of surfing and maneuverability you do have. 2, you can actually charge in midair if you pop up, because there is a difference between charging off and popping up. Charging off, as you've seen before, basically you have a continuous charge until you hit a surface. After you hit the surface, you must charge again if you want to pin someone in midair. Let's say a friend who's helping you out by being a fair target dummy. Now, popping up does have advantages. You have a lot more control. You can turn around, you can move. You have just a ton of aerial control while popping up. But if you want distance, you have to do a smooth charge. Downside with this is your reaction time is a lot less, because when you do charge, you naturally go downward a little bit at the very start of the charge. Next tip, invite some friends. Challenge each other to, let's say, races or jumping contests or what have you. If you want to have some more fun, you can even have a couple friends be Lucio and just try to use your Reinhardt skills to play a nice game of tag. By tag, I mean pin them and kill them. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you'll practice this yourself. I'm going to try holding this daily on the NA servers as Reinhardt's flying lessons, so if you see me, feel free to drop by. This has been Overlord MMM, signing out. Have fun flying.